So if it's taking up their time and it's taking time away from them to be making more money and selling and focusing on what really matters, they should outsource it. They should make more money
Mhm.
by paying a few hundred to me to go do these tasks that they maybe don't need to do. They do need to give up the control, which I know is scary.
Welcome to our show. My name is Jenny Woon. I'm missing my co-host here, Toni. She's just away right now at the moment, but I do have a guest with me today, PAIGE BLAISE. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. You are the founder of Realty Runners. I'm so excited to have you on because your business it's so smart to start this up
Mhm.
because a couple of reasons. From a realtor's perspective, we often don't want to hire somebody full time. Okay. And because it costs money. And we're always wondering, do we have enough work for this assistant
Yeah.
to hire someone full time? So tell our listeners what you do.
Yeah. So I launched a realtor assistant company. It's a month to month subscription. So as you just said, typically right now, if you need an assistant, you are paying for them for the entire year. You're going to pay for a yearly salary. You might not need them for the whole year. So that's where I come into play. You pay for me the months you need me. You don't have to worry about paying me the months you don't need me. So that's saving realtors thousands a month. They already have enough fees as it is. Why do they need more fees? So pay for me when you need me. And even I've spoken to some realtors, they have assistants already, but some assistants, they don't want to go out and do the things in person. They like to be behind the computer. They want to work remotely, whereas I'm actually going out and doing tasks for realtors. So there's a few different cases where you might need me. So yeah, if you already have an assistant, they don't want to do the task. Maybe your assistant is away, or maybe the realtor is just away for a couple weeks, so they only need me 1 month. So yeah,
What made you start this business?
yeah. So it's a longer one, but I've been wanting to start my own company for a long, long time, and I would think about different ideas because I work a lot, so I have a day job in sales, and I also work at night as well as a server, and also wanted to launch my own company. So I'm a little crazy. But so I've been thinking about what to do for a long time. My stepdad is actually a realtor and he had wanted an assistant, but he didn't want to pay for one for the whole year. But he never really thought about starting a company. Then unfortunately, he was in the hospital in spring and it wasn't planned, it was unexpected, and he was there for a few weeks and he had work going on and no one to help him do it. So I offered to help him. It was a pretty easy way for me to try out this company idea and see that it worked so he could just focus on being healthy. I went out and did everything. I would send him text updates and say, hey, look, this happened, did this is completed. So it worked. And then I took me a few months. I started doing all the back end stuff, doing websites, getting the social media pages ready. And I just launched last month. Yeah.
Amazing. Congratulations. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that emergency happening,
Yeah.
but yet you came out of it being able to help him out. So, and now it's a new business. So,
Yeah.
what would you say is your superpower? Like, what differentiates you from any other like unlicensed assistant?
The biggest one I think is affordability. So like my highest package is 1,000 a month. Whereas if
Mhm.
you are paying a full-time assistant, it could range, but it might be between 40 to 60,000 a year. So that is such a big difference. If you're paying me for the full year, we're looking at $12,000. Big, big difference.
Right. Tell me how a typical day or week looks like right now with the clients that you are working with.
Yeah. So right now, my biggest part as the company is new, it is still, I find whenever you're starting a new company, it's all about sales. So that is kind of what I do with my day job that I still have. And I'm just using it now with my own company. So the biggest part of me right now is just spending hours reaching out to realtors. Actually doing the task usually doesn't take that long. It's just me usually it's picking up keys, dropping off keys, takes me like half an hour. But right now, the biggest part of my day is reaching out, building up pipelines and reaching out to realtors and starting that line of communication. Some people, they might not need me now, but I feel like I'm going to be a lot busier, say around like Christmas when people need to start sending out
Mhm.
mail, and then I can help with that. Or they're away for a few weeks and then that's where I'll step in. So just building up relationships right now, that is taking up a lot of my day currently.
Yeah. So, and obviously, like, we understand we prospect as well.
Yeah.
So, what you're doing is prospecting.
Yep.
So, I understand that language.
Yeah.
Um, but I would imagine, so actually, let's take behind the scenes.
Mhm.
How did you come up with your pricing to know your gas is going to be covered, if agents will pay for that? Can you kind of walk me through, like, we're going to go over the pricing packages later on,
Yeah.
but like, how did you know how to price it and how to put the number of tasks to that price?
That was kind of a joint effort between me and my stepdad, and he has more intel than me on what a realtor is willing to pay. So he helped me come up with the ideas. I'll give him the credit for that one, credit for the pricing. Because again, I was like, I don't know how much a realtor would be willing to spend. And he kind of said, I would probably spend this much. And as the packages
Mhm.
get larger, the tasks get cheaper for a realtor. So the price per task would be less. Then we also
Mhm.
do offer pricing. So say someone has gone over like their allotted task credits for the month, we can just charge you on an extra per task basis. But yeah, so far tasks and the pricing seem to be working. People are good with it, and it is covering my gas and covering it's worth my time to go do it.
Yeah. And so when you're doing these prospect calls, what kind of objections are you getting, if any?
I think some people they're not ready to commit yet fully. So they're like, oh, that's such a cool idea. But I know it's new. It's not really something that people are used to right now. So when that happens, I do offer, like, if you just want to try me out, I'll do one task. It's just $40. Try it out, see if you like the service, and then we can build an actual subscription based on what your needs are.
Yeah. I can tell you right now, it's not you. It's not even the pricing structure. It's the I think it's more people don't want to give up their control,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
right? They want to do it themselves.
Yeah.
And of course, that's very small-minded agent,
Yeah.
but they want to make sure the key is dropped off.
Yeah.
So if you can get over that hurdle of an agent,
Yeah.
letting go of that control or and being empowering themselves to do other income driven activities rather than the small little tasks like that,
Yeah.
you will,
Yeah.
promise you, you will you get a lot more clients than you can ever imagine.
Yeah, yeah, people just need to get used to outsourcing. So if it's taking up their time and it's taking time away from them to be making more money and selling and focusing on what really matters, they should outsource it. They should make more money
Mhm.
by paying a few hundred to me to go do these tasks that they maybe don't need to do. They do need to give up the control, which I know is scary. So to offer peace of mind. It's up to the realtor and what they want, but I text them before. If I'm meeting a different agent, I text the other agent before. I can call them, I can email. I send texts or email updates afterwards. Some people want signatures, some people want photos. So, whatever the realtor wants, I am willing to do that. So that way they have peace of mind. They know the task is being done.
Okay, so what I've heard is you're mail stuffing, you're putting up signs, you are taking photos. Like, are you a photographer or are you
No, I'm not taking
meeting the
photos. I can
photographer?
coordinate and book photographers.
Okay,
The biggest thing is usually just picking up keys, dropping off keys. That is the most common
right.
one, but picked up some checks, dropping off checks, done gift wrapping, sent gifts. Yeah. A lot of things. I'm
So,
open to things.
and talking about price again, like how much would a courier cost versus
Exactly.
hiring
I've looked up that
you,
and
right?
even looked it up on, like, I know Uber does couriers as well. So I looked at the price of
Ah,
that versus mine, and mine's usually a lot cheaper. So yeah.
ah, right. And you understand the lingo too and the importance of this key not to get
Oh
lost.
yeah. I gotta keep the keys safe. Yeah.
What are some like challenges or misconceptions that people might have about your role as an unlicensed assistant, and how have you addressed them?
Yeah. Like so far I feel like people seem to get it. It is pretty straightforward. The only
Mhm.
thing maybe it's when do I charge? So I give you task credits. It's does a task become more than one task credit? So something is taking a really long time. So I've said if it takes over an hour, it gets charged as two task credits instead of one. So like one task credit per hour. So then say if someone needs me to drive. Like I'm based in Vancouver and I'm kind of working with the cities in direct contact to Vancouver. But if someone needs me from Vancouver, say to drive out to Surrey and then come back, that's probably going to take me a lot longer than an hour. So that would be when I'd probably charge someone two task credits instead of one. So that would be the
Gotcha.
only thing I've found so far.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so, like,
Yeah,
distance-wise,
like, I'm just basically
has
timing it, so then the realtor has to trust me to say, "Hey, like, look, it took me 40 minutes to drive there, 40 minutes to drive back, so now we're gonna charge you 2 task credits."
right.
Yeah.
So, you're starting from where your office is currently, or do you start it from the time you pick up the keys at the brokerage
But,
or wherever you meet them?
yeah, a lot of the times I get the keys on a different day, like, whatever works for the realtor. Sometimes they'll drop them off to me, sometimes I pick them up, but I would typically start it like, say if we're putting on a timer, start it from where I'm starting, so I'm downtown, so from there and however long it takes me. Of course, if it's a city that's beside Vancouver and there was some crazy accident, something happened, I wouldn't charge someone 2 task credits, but if I'm going quite far out of the way, then yeah, probably would be 2.
Mhm. And so how do you build and maintain relationships, you think, throughout the course of
Mhm,
you have clients right now.
mhm.
So how are you building and maintaining that relationship so that you're ensuring that they're continuing to hire you for the next following months as well?
Yeah, yeah. Building out my pipeline is mainly through email, and I'm also trying every person I meet, every time I go out, I try to tell everyone about this new business idea, get them to follow me on socials. But yeah, the main one is email, cold emails, reaching out. Once I have a partnership, I will be checking in with them every couple months or so. I'm not gonna completely just bother them all the time, but building that relationship when I'm actually in a monthly subscription with someone, text communication or DMs through Instagram, whatever works, whatever they prefer. Some prefer email. I'm reachable all the time on my phone, always have it on me. So whatever works during the partnership, when that subscription month, say, is done, just following up with them every so often to see if they need any more tasks
Mhm.
completed.
Mhm. So I would say like maybe the more traditional or old school role, it's called a runner,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of that term or maybe your stepdad has said
Yeah,
this
yeah.
to you as
That's where
well.
the name came from.
Right.
Realty
Yeah.
Runners.
So of course,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So would you say like that your role will I don't want to say never, but do you see yourself ever like going into the paperwork side of things where you're managing
Yeah.
like their database and their systems?
Yeah, my long-term goal would for me to be doing more the back end things and having a team of assistants at the ready who can go out whenever needed. So I would probably still stick with doing my sales aspect of the role and reaching out to people, then scheduling people to go do the tasks and have a team doing it. And if needed, obviously I would still go out and do the task, but that would be the long-term goal there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so right now you're a one-woman
Yeah,
show,
it's just me
um,
right now.
for now,
Me
obviously.
right now until it builds up a bit more.
Can you share with us like anything significant or successful task or event that kind of happened and it had like a significant improvement to a realtor's business? Like, have you encountered any issues where you were like became a hero or a lifesaver in that moment?
Honestly, the biggest one was for my stepdad, him being in the hospital and, like, you don't want
Yeah.
someone stressing out even more when they're in the hospital, so giving him the peace of mind so he can focus on getting better and being healthy, that would be the most life-changing one to anyone, so, yeah.
So, and you didn't have any like real estate exposure to that prior to that, like in terms of what a realtor does, I'm assuming, because he was
Oh,
kind of your
yeah.
first client, right?
Yeah, yeah, like
So, how did you know? what to do? Like, did he tell you exact
Oh,
instructions?
yeah. So the first time I ever did it, writing everything like this is this number, text this person, you go to this place. This is me asking like, what's this? What's that? So he would help me out a lot. Like I've obviously heard realtor language before. I have a lot of friends who are also realtors. But
Hmm.
me actually doing it, didn't know what I was doing, I guess, the first few times. But they're all like pretty straightforward tasks. Everyone's always really friendly. I feel like being a realtor, they're more friendly, outgoing types of personalities. So I never have to worry about anything. And everyone's always easy to reach. I feel like realtors always have their phone on them as well. So if I need to contact someone about something, it's not a big deal. They're going to get back to me. But yeah, didn't really know much about the real estate world before jumping into this.
Hmm. And so, are the tools that you're using right now like just super simple, like
Yeah,
uh,
just
texting and
yeah, yeah,
emailing?
yeah. I'm using Google Drive for everything, keeping track on spreadsheets, Canva for all my websites, social media. When I send out bills and receipts, just making templates on Canva. But yeah, and texting, calling. Right now,
Yeah.
basic things, but that's right now. That's all I need right now, and maybe it will change down the road.
Yeah. And so, do you find that, I guess, are the agents as well, like when you're completing a task, how do they know that you've completed it?
Yeah, so whatever they want. Some I message through Instagram, some I'm texting, some I'm emailing, but I'll give them a confirmation that the task has been completed. If they want a photo of that, I can also send them that or a signature. I can get signatures. So say if I'm dropping off a big check and they want to make sure like that check actually got there, get that signature, take a photo, just covering all the bases to know that it made it there.
Okay. So, how do you respond to an agent who's com- contemplating, besides the price, contemplating between like hiring a licensed real estate agent versus an unlicensed one? Like,
Yeah.
have
Well,
you gotten?
I haven't like I'm so different from a licensed assistant. There are some things that I cannot do. So I feel like we are kind of in totally different realms. So if someone needs someone to help with contracts and all the legal stuff, I can't do that. So probably I wouldn't be the right person for that. But some people
Mhm.
are okay with having both that. And then for me, for the other little tasks.
So, tell us all the packages that you offer
Yeah.
at the moment.
So I have three different tiers. So there's a bronze, silver, and gold. So bronze, 300 for 10 tasks per month, or 350, sorry. Then the silver package, 500 for 15. And then the gold is 1,000 for 35 tasks. Yeah, 35 tasks.
35 tasks.
Yes.
Is there a commitment
No,
as
no.
well, or is
So
it month to
you get
month?
them. So say you want to start today, it's the 20th, you have me for 1 month. So it doesn't have to start on the first of the month. You don't have to continue on if you don't need me afterwards. So you pay, you get 1 month out of that from the day you send payment. I would require payment before completing any task. So you need to pay me, then that's day one of your month subscription. And then for payment,
Gotcha.
we can do cash, e transfer, or credit card payments through PayPal. I am a small business, so I do prefer usually e-transfer is the easiest. Doesn't charge me any fees like PayPal does, and I will send receipts so that way realtors can use that for tax time.
Right. Amazing. And so you also have a referral program
Oh
as
yeah, yeah.
well. Yeah. Can you share that?
So if you refer someone, yeah, and if they sign up, then you would get 10% off for your next month. If you sign up multiple people, we just keep tacking it on. So if you signed three other realtors, you get 30% off your next month and so on. Then if you do want to try out the services, just one task, the first one would be at $40.
Funny question
Yeah.
here. What what did you learn about realtors that you did not know before?
Yeah, I guess the more like the outgoing, the bigger personalities, I would say. But I feel like that's just the type of people. And even looking at my friends who are all realtors, they're all the most outgoing people, chatty, very talkative. So kind of those personalities seem to be everyone I've dealt with so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I love to always finish off with 5 rapid fire questions.
Oh.
Yeah, this is fun part. If you could work for any celebrity as their personal assistant, who would it be and why?
Ooh. Uh, Celebrity. Let's see. Maybe she's someone really big, like Oprah, who built up a massive empire because I want to build up a massive empire myself as well. So seeing someone who started a huge company.
Yeah, awesome. What is the most awkward or funniest task you were asked to complete for an agent?
No, so no one's asked me to do anything weird before.
Good. Okay.
There's nothing weird. It's very straightforward, like easy. Yeah.
Okay. Just because
to.
well, 20 years in the business.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, you want me to do what? Or you want me to say what? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
we end up wearing more than just wearing a realtor hat. So,
I'm curious. I feel like I'm gonna get some weird requests after you said that.
If you were to give your business a quirky tagline or slogan, what would it be?
Quirky. Quirky.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Sorry, you said quirky or which?
Or quirky tagline or slogan or a hashtag or see you probably won't be able to come up with this because you haven't been in any awkward situations yet.
Yeah, so I'm excited for those to come up. Make my life more interesting and exciting. But yeah, once I get those weird requests in, then I can use that. I'm like not doing whatever that weird request is, could be that tagline. Right now, though, it's straightforward. Like, Realty Runners saves you money. Realty Runners is a no-brainer just to help out realtors. But yeah, once I get those weird requests in with Realty Runners, does not offer whatever they ask me.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Yeah, high achieving, energetic, and usually responsible. Like, you can trust me doing these tasks. I have it under control.
Besides the usual apps like the calendar or text messaging, what is an app you cannot live without?
Probably Instagram, but I still feel like a pretty standard one that everyone uses. But yeah, I guess I'm a little addicted to that.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you're you're in sales, is there any app, like organizational apps or time management apps that you normally use on a daily basis that maybe a realtor can take benefits from?
Something I use. Like I use Zoom a lot, I assume. Well, maybe they don't. Realtors use that instead of doing a normal phone call, seeing someone face to face like we're doing right now. So I am on that most days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And finally, where can our listeners find you to obtain and retain your service?
Yeah. So Realtyrunners.ca is the website. And then it's Realty Runners on all social media platforms. If you want to email me, it's realtyrunnersbc@gmail.com.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Paige, for your time. I wanted to even offer something to the agents. So maybe we'll chat about that to see if there's any special offerings that we can offer to our listeners.
Yeah.
But really excited for your business adventure here. I think it's much needed because there's tons of agents who are still doing the little things that I know can be passed on and outsourced to improve their business.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you sharing your being resourceful to us.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks.